When she bowls, she will tie most consecutive tournaments bowled with 200. The other thing she wants to accomplish is she wants to be the third PWBA millionaire, and this telecast gets her even closer. She wants to be remembered in the sport of bowling. I think Tish Johnson is a name that will not be forgotten.
I would agree with you. Well, another great veteran that has not seen the winner's circle in 3 years is our number 4 seed, Marie Duggan.
It's very hard to believe that a great champion like Marie Duggan has not won in 3 years, but she has had the chance for some telecasts. Over the last few years, Marie has finished 6th quite a few times, and this weighed on her mentally. But last week in Albuquerque, her husband Pat Duggan came out, helped her with her release, and helped with keeping her emotions in check. Now, let me tell you, this woman here wants victory. She tastes it, she smells it. There's no looking back for Marie Duggan.
Well, she better be ready to look forward. We're ready to go to that first match, and Duggan will be joined by Barrette and Bishop. And they're ready to start, and it looks like Marie Duggan will be first up. She was our number 4 seed. Leanne Barrette, the number 3 seed. It was Leanne's choice as to who would start, or actually Leanne's choice first, and Marie's choice second as to where she'd like to go.
Depending on the way you have the feel for the lanes is always a good judge of whether you want to start or finish.
Great opening shot by Marie.
Marie looks really sharp. She looks a little slower than she was during the week. I talked to the girls right before we started, and they did say the lanes were a little bit tighter. The hook did not hook as much as it did during the week.
First look at Leanne Barrette, and it's her second telecast this year, opening up with a strike also.
Leanne is one of our players that commented on really liking the sports lane condition because it has made her a little sharper and has rewarded her for her good shots.
And Lisa Bishop, yes, you saw her last week, and I believe she lost to someone sitting at my right.
Unfortunately, you know, it's her demise, my welcome, but great opening shot by all 3 ladies. Now, Lisa, the straighter of the 2 players, is playing just a little bit farther left than the gutter where she played during the week. Like I said, they said 1-2 was not hooking as much as it did during the week.
That being the 1-2 board.
Yes.
From the right, out by the channel if you're counting boards. Start
Yes.
with 1, work your way left. Marie Duggan now coming high on lane 26. Carolyn, was there any difference in the 2 lanes?
One thing that has occurred on this condition is that there is no hold left, and Marie seems like she got that one a little inside of her target, and she left the 3-6-10.
Meanwhile, Leanne Barrette steps up in the second and high also.
Ooh, almost tripping the 4-pin there. Still getting it in just a little bit, going a little bit high. First few frames, a little shaky. Get the nerves out.
And Marie shooting that with her strike ball.
The conventional way of making
exactly.
a 3-6-10. Like I said, the inside of the lane is really hooking, and a lot of girls actually did use their strike ball to shoot at some right-handed spares or vice versa for a left-hander because there was a little hook to get it back. Leanne changes to a straighter ball for her spare, and one thing you will notice about Leanne when she uses her spare ball, she holds it a little bit lower. She says it makes her have direction a little bit better towards her spares.
And Lisa Bishop now in the second. She has that strike up in the first and could take the lead here if she strikes.
Looks like a good shot. Blows the rack.
Well, if you've been at any of our events, make sure you head to some other ones. The PWBA goes to Fort Worth, Texas, and at Don Carter City View next week for the Fort Worth Classic. Then it's on to Fun Quest Lanes in Collierville, Tennessee for the Greater Memphis Open. That's June 24th through the 28th. The ladies spend Independence Day in Danville, Virginia, as they visit Country Club Lanes for the Southern Virginia Open. Tournament play begins Sunday, July 1st and runs through July 5th. Summer is just heating up, so come out and join us for some action on the PWBA Tour. Lisa Bishop in the lead.
One thing we've noticed over the last few weeks is that you've had a lot of different players with different games make the telecast, which is very nice to see. Both left-handers, straight players. Marie goes way Brooklyn on that shot, leaving the 10-pin.
And that was one of the hopes of the sport condition, to allow all different styles of players to play, but you had to execute. As you said, no room left. You really had to make accurate shots.
There's very little room for error on the sport condition, as you can tell by the averages and the players making the telecast. Another Shot by Leanne, gets it a little bit in, goes Brooklyn. Like I said, the middle of the lane really does hook. Anne-Marie changing to a ball that gets down the lane, a little bit harder surface, and picks up the 10-pin. Spares have become very crucial on this condition. Also, you've heard a lot of women over the past few weeks state that their spare game has really gotten a lot better.
And it has to, and obviously, as you can see already, we're going to need a spare game tonight, at least in this first match. The last few weeks, we've seen the scores improve after the first match.
Well, you know, it's a little hard in that first match. You're trying to get a feel. The lights come on, and the lights do play a part in the way the lanes do break down. So it's a little test, the first game.
Okay, Carolyn, 3 bowlers in a match. How much more difficult is that for you to get a good feel, or is it easier because it's like qualifying?
It's a little more like qualifying, yes. The pace is a little quicker. But to be honest with you, I think the majority of ladies like the little bit of a slower pace on TV, try to settle the nerves a little bit. And it is a little hot out there. You kind of want to try to catch your cool. Lisa goes light, leaves a light 10.
Almost a 7-10 on that shot.
Better shot by Leanne Barrette. And leaving the light 10. Better shot, though. Much better.
Here are the averages on the TV pair this week. Marie Duggan falls well short of the rest of the players on this pair, 25 and 26.
Lisa picks up her spare. Mostly all the players out here do change to a harder surface ball to shoot their spares across the lane. It takes the lane out of play, makes it a little bit easier to go direct at them.
As Anne-Marie converts her spare, you saw that difference in average there for this week on this pair. Carolyn, does that play on their mind at all tonight?
I think some girls look at it, but, you know, in one game, 10 frames, you're out there. Anything can happen. I don't really think it weighs that heavy.
Leanne Barrette now in the 4th frame. And again, did you see a lot of that, Brooklyn?
Saw quite a few of it. That's why I'm sitting here today. But other than that, it is, especially when you're a little nervous, your tendency probably is to want to really try to help the ball. Also, they may not have been as comfortable when they started tonight. So we might see a big transition here in the next few games. Oh, now for Lisa Bishop throwing the pin across the lane. Leanne getting a little left to target and went way Brooklyn. She also seems like she pulled that a little bit. Changes balls and misses the 10.
Mistake by Leanne Barrette, but we'll be right back with more from Country Club Lanes. Lisa Bishop is your leader.
Hard to believe that Leanne also hasn't won a title since 1999 with such a great game.
It is.
And she's a consistent player.
So, Carolyn, tell everybody the secret. I mean, how do you win?
You need a lot of luck sometimes. She converts her spare.
Big shot for Lisa Bishop. She had a 221 average on this pair versus her 212 average for the tournament. So definitely one of her better pairs. Max score for her, 245. Leanne Barrette, 207. Anne-Marie Duggan, 206 is the best they could both shoot if they strike out.
Great shot by Lisa. The one thing that Lisa probably has to her advantage this game is because she crosses fewer boards, it seems that right now is the best way to get to the pocket.
Well, Anne-Marie Duggan really needs to set up a strike here and again crossing over. I know she did a lot of things on the break and she wanted to, you know, thank her staff, Storm, Turbo 2-in-1 grips, and her and her husband Pat, Anne-Marie, I'm talking about now. They actually share in a business, bowlingballmall.com, one of our sponsors, and she wanted to let everybody know she's been working hard on that. So you can go there even for some of the PWBA merchandise.
And see some information on some of the girls, too.
Right. Leanne, a little bit of a light strike, a timely one.
I think she was a little shocked by that one, too, with the shake.
Lisa Bishop up in the 9th, still leading by 38 pins, but it's critical, really, that she continues to strike here.
One of the things Lisa talked about was she just wanted to be a little more patient with herself and worked on that over the break. And maybe it's paying off. She's had 2 very good weeks.
Yeah, back-to-back shows. Last year, you saw her title there, the Foundation Games. That was her only show last year.
Only show, and that was a tough condition. You bowled on 3 different conditions, and you had to be very versatile, and you really had to keep your mind in it that week, and she bowled very well. good shot.
Wow, she does appear to have a little room out there, too.
She seems like she can go really up and at them, not cross as many boards, and really, that's the key when the lanes start to break down where you don't like them. Try to stay in the pocket, make your spares, and hopefully things will get better.
Well, that was a big shot by Lisa, because really she just will need to keep it on the lane if Leanne Barrette strikes out. Marie Duggan having a tough go here, but like you said, she's going to start looking forward. I mean, she needs to put this behind her and get right back on the show next week.
When I talked with her, even before the show, she's very positive. She feels that what she worked on last week really worked, got her through this week, so she's looking for a great year. Wow. Now
I just want to point out that now Leanne missed a little left, obviously almost missed the head pin left. Now at home on your lead condition, the buildup in the middle is so much higher that if you miss left like that, the ball won't hook across like that.
There's a little bit of hold in the middle part of the lane, and that's actually what creates a very good shot. On this sports league condition, there is no forgiveness. You have to find a way to keep your ball in the pocket and hopefully make all your spares till you hit one of those good pairs. And these 5 ladies this week, they found the key.
Well, Lisa just needing to keep the ball in the lane. She pretty much needed to keep the ball in the lane last night on her fill ball to make the show, and she tugged it right to the head pin. She didn't exactly know, but she said she heard whispers, kept it on the lane, and that will be enough. So Lisa Bishop will move on, but first when we return, the WIBC shows just how much bowlers care. Lisa Bishop 223 to Duggan's 169 and Barrette's 187. And so it will be Lisa Bishop taking on Kim Adler right after this. Ooh, good break tapping out that 10-pin.
Lisa right now seems like she has the best shot to the pocket. Like I said, the straighter up you could go to the pocket, the less trouble you got into, and usually your spares were very makeable.
Well, I wonder if Kim will try to play that same area of the lane. 11 years on tour, 14 national titles.
One of the best conditioned players out here on our tour.
A little bit light.
Leaves the 2-8. Since the ladies told me the lanes are a little bit tighter than they were during the week, I would suspect that Kim will use her strike ball to shoot at the spare.
Well, it's interesting you're saying they told you they're tighter, and yet all we see is people keep going crossing over Brooklyn, but that's because of the tightness. They can't open up where they were before.
Correct. During the week, the 1-2 board on the right and the left side of the lane really hooked. And a lot of girls were able to bounce off of that. Ooh.
Wow.
Slides right by that. As you can see, because they are tighter where they are playing, this ball never makes it over to the 2-8. Just grabs the 8 right at the end. During the week, you were able to get the ball to the dry. It seems now when they try to get it to the dry, it either hooks early and goes Brooklyn, or there's a little bit hang there to the right.
There's a great shot. Good comeback by Kim Adler. And the players even talked about the variety of equipment, variety of surfaces. Even all week, they had a lot of changes.
There was not one specific thing that all of these girls didn't do. Whether you were a hook player, a straight player, an in-betweener, everyone used strong equipment with surface, weak equipment with shine. I mean, it was a variety of everything.
Came back. And a little bit earlier tonight, President of the PWBA, John Falzone, presented Kim Terrell with the 2000 Robbie Award. That award is given to the bowler that best exemplifies a professional image, both on and off the lanes. Kim Terrell won that award for an unprecedented 4th time, 95, 97, 2000, 2001, and is the first back-to-back Robbie Award recipient. So if you want to take a look at a professional bowler, image-wise, Kim Terrell.
Yeah, besides being my friend, she really is the true professional.
Maybe some will rub off on you, Carolyn.
I think so. I hope so. Ooh. She got that one a little right, just like she did on the right lane, and that came back. Now, the key there could be she finally has a little bit of carry down to the left of where there was the hang. So now she's got a little bit of hold. She seems like her ball speed is a little bit slower than it was during the week. It's allowing her to get the ball to roll up to the pocket.
You saw Kim Adler's average 222.19. That was this week. She actually had the highest average of all the competitors, but her match play record only 13-11. It should have been a little higher. Her opponents only averaged 208. So surprising to me that she only won 13 matches.
Very odd, because Kim Adler is probably one of the best match play bowlers I've ever seen. Great shot.
Well, she's a little intimidating. I mean, look at the face when she steps up there. I'd be a little intimidated.
She does have a little bit of the mean face going, but that is truly Kim's intensity level.
Well, but on the lighter side, she does a lot of other things, and she talked to us about Kimbo Creations.
These are the one-of-a-kind jewelry that she makes, such as stones, glass beads. There are never two of the same. I own quite a few of them, I might add.
I have one myself. Very nice.
Oh! Light tap from the gutter on that one.
Well, it's anybody's match, so stay tuned to see who can finish it off. Expectations way too high. Of course, came out as 97 Rookie of the Year, expecting to just continue to flourish, and then found out how tough it is, really, when it's your livelihood out here.
And she did find out that patience is definitely a virtue. It helped her to read lanes better and really not get mad at herself. Another great shot. Great comeback shot. A little more aggressive on that.
Well,
and she gets 10. Sorry.
No problem. Kim Adler steps up in the 7th frame. She is on 5 in a row herself. I'm sure she wished she would have had one more practice shot before she started this match.
And one of the things that Kim has done is she's throwing a ball with a little more shine on the right lane and with a little more surface on the left lane.
Match all even. Both players could strike out.
Great shot.
Score of 279.
That's another thing you seldom see in league play. Because of the lanes being the same each week when you go back to the same center, you're allowed to use the same ball all the time over and over again, very rarely changing surfaces. Here, when you have 10 frames, the change better be quick.
230 average for this lady on the television pair. Looking to up it this match.
Another good shot by Kim.
Wow, talk about an intense match. They know that if either one of them doesn't strike, it could be the end. Coming off of low scores, and this is what we've seen on the sport pattern.
Past couple weeks, same thing on TV. First match, little shaky, lower scores, and then all of a sudden, second, third match, higher scores, a little more confidence from the person who won that first match.
Wow, unfortunate break. Good shot.
Excellent shot. Put this one right where she wanted to. Stone 9-pin. Can't do anything about that. That's just a plain old bad break.
Well, there was a lot going on this week here, and I mentioned the wheelchair bowlers. Friday, they had a wheelchair pro-am, a charity event. Carolyn, were you there?
Actually, because of travel arrangements, I was not able to make it, but I heard everyone had a fantastic time. The turnout was fabulous.
You see some of the players on tonight's telecast in there. Marie Duggan. Great time. I've been out here several times myself to bowl with these wheelchair bowlers, and we have just had a tremendous time.
A great bunch of gentlemen.
Lisa Bishop now trailing by 20 pins. Really must strike here. Now that one just as far right, but
just as far right, a little bit further right early. And this is what you see during the week. Because of that slight mistake, she hits a little bit of that hang, and she 210s. There's just such a fine line for error. You have to be really sharp.
Even ball speed, very critical. I know one of the things Lisa's been working on, staying slower, as you mentioned.
And she's much slower. Ooh, close.
Nice shot at it. Really, really needed to convert that to have any hope here in this match. Because the best she could shoot now, being Lisa Bishop, 236. Well, Kim Adler will have to keep it clean here, but so far she's been able to find the pocket. Her 2001 average a little bit down, and we've noticed that in sport condition, the top players maybe even or down a pin or two, but when you get lower at below 10th, then they're down quite a bit.
Another good shot by Kim leaves that week 10. One of the things that Kim has really emphasized on the last few weeks, though, believe it or not, everybody looks at Kim and says, great bowler. And she looks at you and says, but my shot making hasn't been very good. And this week, she feels that she repeated 9 out of 10 shots per game. That's incredible. That's why she's on TV.
Covers up that spare with a spare ball. Well, Kim Adler, actually, she shot a 300 this week. 289, 300, 234 for 823.
Not bad for 3 games. No wonder she was leading for such a long time.
First woman to shoot an 800 on the sport condition. Actually, I was told the first one reported at all, man or woman.
That's something to be very proud of.
Certainly is. And that only can happen if you're repeating about 9 out of 10 times a game.
Exactly.
That messenger went airmail.
That was the tip of the pin hitting the 10. See, it was another good shot. She's going more direct up the lane. Pin comes right across the deck. The tip of the pin knocks it out. And there's the intensity level of Kim.
She is definitely into it. That was a big strike. She closed out Lisa Bishop with that shot. So after that first frame, Kim Adler dominated the semifinals. And when we come back, we'll recap tonight's scoring. Still to come, the championship match. Wheelchair Bowlers, Inc. and the American Wheelchair Bowling Association want you to know that when you lose a leg, suffer a spinal injury, are stricken with muscular dystrophy, multiple sclerosis, polio, or whatever lands you in a wheelchair, it's a long fight back, and you think you'll never be the same again, but then you find out that you are not alone. You discover there are many great people in chairs, and they have discovered something that makes all the difference in the world. They are competitors. In the repeated practice necessary to develop a skill, whether shooting a basketball, bowling a strike, or even catching a fish, thoughts of what is not possible must diminish enough to see what is possible. If you're a wheelchair user and would like to find out more, or if you'd like to assist wheelchair users in funding activities, please contact Wheelchair Bowlers, Inc. at 5603 East Encanto, Mesa, Arizona, or call them at 480-985-0699. Or contact the American Wheelchair Bowling Association at a new address, 1229 Country Woods Lane, Palm Harbor, Florida. Or phone them at 727-734-5850. So far tonight in match 1, Lisa Bishop kept it in the pocket, and that was enough to move past Duggan and Barrette, 223 to 169 and 187. In match 2, Kim Adler threw 7 in a row to recover from an early open and defeat Lisa Bishop, 248 to 236. Coming up next, Kim Adler and Tish Johnson go head-to-head for the Wheelchair Awareness Classic title.
Court TV, searching for truth and justice. Award-winning documentaries. Critically acclaimed programming.
Career title. But this year, it's the Wheelchair Awareness Classic at Country Club Lanes, and we're ready for the championship match. Carolyn Doran-Ballard on television in a way, in the booth with me here, but the match will be between Kim Adler and Tish Johnson. Kim Adler starting the match. Tough break. She hasn't had very good luck in the first frame so far.
Could be an omen for her. It was a really good shot. Straight up the lane like she's been playing it. She leaves the dreaded 4-9. Now this is spareable. She's still using her strike ball to shoot at it.
And she'll try to hit, obviously, the left side of the 4-pin.
Left side of the 4-pin and slide it over. And oh, she gave it a good chance. It's going to be interesting about this match because I believe Tish in their 3 meetings has beat Kim each time.
Ooh, I wonder if Kim knows that.
I'm sure in the back of Kim's mind it has come up. We're going to see some intensity out of both these players.
23 national titles, 22 years on tour for this lady, and won a lot of titles like that. We talked about the milestone she's trying to reach. There you see she needs $14,000 and approximately $600 to become the 3rd PWBA millionaire.
Oh no, and look what happens next week. She ties my partner here tonight, Jan Schmidt, for the most consecutive tournaments at 200.
Yeah, don't sound so upset about it, Carolyn.
Well, let me tell you, he's going to force you out of retirement.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to bowl another 200. Yeah, that's only 10 years, no problem. But knowing Tish, hey, she'll still be going then. Ooh. And throwing strikes like that. And Carolyn, she better keep going because you're the one on her tail. You're next in line with consecutive events at 170.
Well, you know, she did have reconstructive knee surgery over the break on that left knee, I believe. So I might have to try to attack that right.
Kim Adler now up in the 2nd and once again trying to recover from an open first frame. Goalposts went down.
I don't know if that's a blowout the 7-10 or if that's knocked down the 7-10. I'm not sure. Kim has a 5-step approach. She's very low and steady throughout her approach, uses her legs for her power that she generates. And look at that follow through. And that shot looked great. And 2 pins hit it, and they decided to fall. That's an odd shot.
Wow.
Got that one right, and here it comes back. Kind of like what Lisa Bishop was doing, especially on that left lane. The only shot was that 210 that Lisa left. Now Kim got the ball back, blew the rack.
Well, you mentioned the things that Tish wants to do in terms of, you know, reaching the million, as she worded it, kicking my butt. And then she also, a big thing to her is to win the Triple Crown. Tish really wants to do that. And she's, you know,
she's on her way. She's going to be out here a very long time.
There's those lists of consecutive events. We bowl approximately, and Kim Adler on the show, you see the next in line at 136. We bowl approximately 20 events, give or take, per year. So you can see how many years it'll take for those people to catch up.
That's a lot of tournaments over a lot of years. I don't know if people really realize how many games and how many weeks these ladies out here bowl.
It's a tough sport and takes a lot of good conditioning to keep that.
I'd say Tish definitely has a little area on that outside line. She got that one way near the gutter, and that ball came back. Well, you know what? We could possibly have the old 300 here, starting up again.
We could, and once again, still that $50,000 bonus by Travelodge Hotels.
Maybe they'll give her a free room next week if she shoots 300.
In fact, I think Kim offered last week on the show that she can't shoot 300, but she had offered to buy dinner. I wonder if Tish would do the same.
That shot did not look that bad by Kim. She got it a little right, but what she might be experiencing is a little carry down on the lane. got it a little right, which she's been able to do, but the ball just rolls out. And she leaves the bucket. Once again, going to use her strike ball to shoot at the spare. Which is something people at home should pay attention to. Like on a league condition, you can usually use any ball because it does the same thing all the time. Not on this type of condition.
Oh, and she chops the spare. Unfortunate break by Kim Adler.
Looks like she throws it just where she wants to, but just chops it right to the left. Happened quite a lot this week. Once you get to that middle part of the lane, if you miss just a little, the ball starts to hook.
Well, if you think you can compete at this level and throw those 8 or 9 good shots a game, we have changed our amateur eligibility rules. You must meet our average requirements. You can only cash 3 times per year. Our regional members now can bowl unlimited, and you have to participate in an orientation meeting. So if you're interested, call the PWBA. That number is 815-332-5756. Come on out and join us at a national stop. Wow, Kim Adler just having a lot of problems right now.
She got that one a little bit left. She hasn't been missing that far left on her shots. It was right out of her hand. Right here, you can see she's way left of where she was playing. She hit around 8, 9, 10, and right through the face. There is no hold in the middle part of the lane. And that's called the Greek Church. Spareable. She needs to hit to the right of that 6 pin, slide those pins over. She takes 3.
Well, Tish Johnson definitely right now in control of this match, but again, we're only halfway through, so you never know what can happen. Tish Johnson already shot 1-300 this week. In fact, both of these ladies did. Tish Johnson with a series of 771 with that 300, so she definitely was very close to that 800 mark also.
She bowled very consistent all week. Never fell very far. Kept herself pumped up. And she gets number 5.
Well, Carolyn asked Tish about her plans to be a college coach.
Why? Well, I think of all the girls that have been coming out, I mean, they're really good. They've come out of the college ranks. And I think having 23 national titles, I think I could give something back to bowling as much bowling has given me.
And of course you could give back to bowling. And how about that number that popped on the screen right before that? 41 300 games.
I personally can't even fathom that. So there aren't many people that can claim that number.
I think she had a photocopier to shoot that many.
On that shot, she looked like she got a little quick. If you've noticed, she's really soft with her hand at the release. She's been really getting into lane smooth, a little bit slower ball speed, a little quick on this shot.
Well, we'll step away for a moment, but stay with us to see if Tish Johnson can hang on to her lead. We'll be right back. And in the background, 4 Peaks. Beautiful scenery here in the Phoenix area. But we are inside of Country Club Lanes, and we're in the middle of the championship match of the Wheelchair Awareness Classic. Tish Johnson in the lead right now by 66 pins. While we were away, Kim Adler, 8 spare, 8 spare. High and then light.
Good shot by Tish right after the break. She was a little more smooth with that shot, allowed the ball to read the lane. Great result. Tish's strength and weakness. She says versatility, and she sure can play the whole part of that lane. Of course, she does say the most comfortable is that outside line. Her weakness, she's way too hard on herself, and then she has a hard time bouncing back. That looked like a pretty good shot. A little bit of a light hit.
Tapped. I think she's kidding around a bit.
She got that shot way left. Just a light hit. That's just another bad break. There wasn't a pin that even tried to hit that 6 pin. Very makeable spare.
Carolyn, don't you think at this level, almost every player out here is pretty hard on themselves?
I would say so, because you strive to be the best. You strive for more every week. Of course, it is hard to imagine, though, with 23 titles. My gosh, I mean, how upset can she be? But you know what? Maybe she wants 23 more, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Well, Kim Adler, you know, after that huge first game, 248, I believe it was, why do you think she's struggling so much here?
This is what you typically see with this sport league condition. It is oiled this week 34 feet. We're using a Defense S oil, which is the most oil we've used all swing. It's a shorter distance. That makes the difference. What happens is this oil moves, and it moves fast. So if the ball hooks, like you saw if she went through the nose, she moves a little left, gets it a little right, it hangs. And what they sometimes call that is strips. The oil is stripped in certain parts of the lane. It's not really a bad shot. That was close. She was going for it.
She has to at this point in time.
But you can make good shots and get a result that you did not expect because of the way the oil moves around on the lane. Also, we've had 4 right-handers on the show tonight, and that makes a big difference using all different surfaces, and that's another factor.
Well, she now trails by 71 pins. She's stepping up in the 9th frame. There isn't much that could happen here to allow her to win this match, but she's smiling, and
she wants to save face. She wants to prove to herself she can figure it out. But this is one thing that the people at home, you may want to just take a note. When you ball in the same center every week, they stay pretty consistent. This is what happens out here. Game to game, you just never know.
Covers that spare up. So the top seed actually paid off once again. Tish Johnson going to win was the top qualifier, and 5 in a row. That's pretty remarkable.
Okay, we need some more noise.
Tish having a little fun out there, I see. A little relaxed.
Calling for a little more noise. As you mentioned, Carolyn, she had that knee surgery, basically reconstructed. She wanted to thank her doctor for that. Dr. Freeland and the crew said they did a great job.
Hey, you had a chance.
She's going to try for the spare, but there isn't much pressure on making it. But I'm sure she still wants to. That's right. You'd still hit right on that 2-4 pin and take out the 7 with it. Oh, and she chops it.
That certainly is nice of her to make the match close.
I want you to feel bad.
I don't know what's going on here. I think she's just trying to maybe give Kim a little bit of a good feeling.
Well, Tish had to work very hard. She said she was in the hospital 3 days, crutches 6 weeks, therapy for 4 months, just to get back so she could continue her consecutive streak.
That's it.
Well, Tish Johnson was as hot as the temperature here in Mesa, Arizona. She captures her first title this year. We'll be back with more. The Wheelchair Awareness Classic final score 210 to 150. And in with the trophy, Lori and Jay Means, the proprietors here at Country Club Lanes.
Congratulations, Tish, on your win from the Wheelchair Classic and Country Club Bowl. We hope you come back next year, and have a nice birthday, by the way. Thank you. I screwed up.
I would like to thank Country Club Lanes and their staff. They were excellent all week. You guys couldn't do more for us. We had water, everything, anything we needed. Sherry, you did a great job. Thank you.
Okay, well, here comes the check, and it's Wayne Weber of the American Wheelchair Bowling Association and Tony Alagna of Wheelchair Bowlers, Inc.
Congratulations on winning the first Wheelchair Awareness Classic. And on behalf of Country Club Lanes, the AWBA, WBI, and the Foundation for Wheelchair Activities, we present you this check for $9,000.
Thank you. I want to thank the Wheelchair Foundation. These guys came out and watched us bowl all week, and I got to see them bowl a little bit this morning. And I guess they're having a tournament in November, so I hope to be here. And I would also like to thank Miller, Travelodge, and WIBC for all your support.
Thanks, Tish, and congratulations again on your 24th career title. Tune in next Monday at our regular time, 9 p.m. Eastern, to see if Carolyn Doran Ballard can defend at the Greater San Diego Open. For Carolyn Doran Ballard, I'm Jan Schmidt, and we hope we heightened your awareness of the athletic potential of wheelchair users. So long from Country Club Lanes in Mesa, Arizona. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com.